श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि स्वादयन्निह सर्वेषाम् त्रय्यन्तार्थम् सुदुर्ग्रहम् स्तोत्रयामास योगीन्द्रः तम् वन्दे यामुनाह्वयम् नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः यत्पदाम्भोरुहध्यान विध्वस्ताशेषकल्मषः वस्तुतामुपयातोऽहम् यामुनेयम् नमामि तम्
श्रीमत्कृष्ण समाह्वाय नमो यामुनसूनवे यत्कटाक्ष एकलक्ष्याणाम् सुलभः श्रीधरः सदा नमः यामुन पाद अब्ज रेणुभिः पावित आत्मने विदित अखिल वेद्याय गुरवे विदित आत्मने नमः अचिन्त्य अद्भुत अक्लिष्ट ज्ञान वैराग्य राशये नाथाय मुनये अगाध भगवत भक्ति सिंधवे
विराजमानोज्ज्वल पीतवाससं स्मितात् सीसून समामलच्छविं निमग्न नाभिं तनुमध्य मुन्नतं विशाल वक्षस्थल शोभिलक्षणम्.
There is no verb here, so it should be coupled with the next verse also. From 32 up to 37, we have a group of verses called Kulakam, Kulakam. And if there is a sentence, complete sentence in a particular single verse, that is called Muktakam, Muktakam. And if the sentence goes to the next verse, that is called Yugmam. So Yugmam means two, Yugmam. Then we have the names like Santanikam and so on for 3, 4, and 5. So beyond 5, we have only one name, the Kulakam. Now starting with 32, so the sentence ends only in 37. So it's almost 6 verses. 6 verses are together in order to understand the complete sentence. Now in the 32, we will see the meaning. What do we understand by 32 is all the words that are in 32 are in what we call accusative case. Namely, in Sanskrit it's called the Dvitiya Vibhakti. Otherwise in Tamil it's called the Irandam Vetmai. By that we say we are going to worship the Lord. The Lord is, how is the Lord? The Lord is this, and this. It is in what we call object of the sentence. So the Lord is the object of the 5 verses. So you have subject is there, and then verb is there. The subject and verb will be, subject is I or we, in what we call Uttama Purusha, namely the first person, I or we. Then there will be a verb like worship, I worship, we worship. The object of the sentence is now started with the 32.
Who art beautifully clad and shine in yellow raiment, whose pure splendor is equal to that of a blooming flax flower, who is endowed with a depressed navel, slender waist, high stature, and shining Shrivasta mark on the broad chest.
Charanambujadvayam Madhyam Uddhanam Alankarishyati. The word Alankarishyati is the verb there. So there the sentence stops in 31. Now we are going to see all the splendor of the Lord from 32. with all the limbs of the Lord. So we are talking about Ambujadvayam, Charanambujadvayam in 31. We have looked at the feet. We had the darshan of the divine feet. Now we are going to see the entire auspicious figure, divine figure of the Lord. So 32. So here the first line, Virajamana Ujjvala Pita Vasasam. Now please look at the translation in English. It starts with who. So we'll have to add one more word. I've been splitting into small, what you call, phrases and clauses. We must find out the last verse, 37, to have the complete sentence. We worship Him. We worship Him. Who? We start the sentence. We worship Him. Who? Otherwise, if you look at the sentence starting with who, that will be, all of us will be led to understand that it is a question. It is not a question. It is not a question. So it is a phrase. It is a clause. We worship Him who, so who are beautifully clad. So beautifully clad is Virajamana Vasasam. And I can say add Ujjvala. Virajamana is shining. Virajamana is shining. Rajamana. Raja. The word of the Raja also meaning shining. So Virajamana is very much shining. Ujjvala also. Dress. Vasas meaning dress. So you get the word in Bhagavad Gita, Vasamsi. Vasamsi. So Vasas means dress. If you separately write the word V-A-S-A, Vasaha, living, residence, living place is called Vasa, life. Whether Vasas means dress. Vasas is what you call neutral gender word. So Vasaha is masculine gender. So there is a lot of spelling similarity, so that we will be having some doubts in understanding Sanskrit words. So Vasasam, one who is dressed, otherwise clad. Lord Sriman Narayana is clad, is dressed, beautifully dressed. There are two, okay, so Virajamana you can take it as beautifully, and Ujjvala will be taken as shining. So Ujjvala is highly shining. Jvala itself shining, Ujjvala is highly shining. Pita is yellow. So yellow dress. We say Pitambaraha, Pitambaradhari. So yellow silk is the color, has a fascination for Lord Simanarayana. And that means he is always on what we call the wedding dress. The wedding dress. Pita Vasas. Pita is yellow. Then you have whose pure splendor is equal to and that of a blooming flax flower. Now we look at the word Smita. Smita is blooming. How do you say Smita is blooming? Smita meaning smiling. So the flower smiles means the flower blossoms. So the flower is smiling, Smita. And the flower's name is Atasi. Atasi is the name of the flower. It is given as flax flower. It is Tamil, it's called the Kayambu. Kayambu. It's a dark pink flower. Atasi. We don't have, I think, exact equivalent in English. I don't know whether it's flax flower is equivalent, correct equivalent. So Atasi is called Atasi, that's all. We have Shankaracharya's Krishnashtakam, Atasi Pushpa Sankasham, Hara Nupara Shobhitam. Ide Vande Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. So Atasi. Now the next word Atasi is the name of the flower. Suna. I'm sorry. Suna. Suna means flower. Suna is flower. Su means born. Suna is born from the tree, born from the creeper, born from a plant. So Suna means flower. Sama is equal. Sama is equal. So equal is there. The word equal. Sama is equal. Suna Sama. Amala pure. Amala pure. Mala dirty. Amala pure. Chavi is splendor. Chavi is splendor. So the C will go with the cha. Amala plus chavi. Right. Second cha. Hard consonant. Mahaprana. So Smita, Atasi, Suna, Sama, Amala, Chavi. So the letter M at the end denotes that it is in accusative case. So the object of the sentence, Lord Sriman Narayana is, rather here Krishna, Lord Krishna, has got a beauty equal to the pure splendor equal to the flower called Atasi, which is blooming. So whose pure splendor is equal to that of a blooming flax flower. Then Nimna, Nimagna Nabhim. Nimagna Nabhim. This is also what we call Samudrika Lakshanam for a divine person. The navel part is little depressed. Depressed in the sense it has got a dent. The navel should be deep and it should have a small contour which is like withdrawing, and it should have a what I say dent. கொஞ்சம் உள் வாங்கி இருக்கணும். தமிழ்ல சொன்னா உள் வாங்கி. நிமக்ன. நிமக்னம் generally meaning immersed. Immersed. That should be deep. Nabi should be deep. So nimagna nabi. Then the slender waist. It is not BHA. It is MA. Tanu madhyam unnatam. It is not BH. It is M. Tanu madhyam unnatam. Right. Tanu dash madhyam unnatam. Oh, that also must be correct. Sanskrit. Right. So Tanu Madhyam Unnatam. So Tanu Madhyam Unnatam. Tanu Madhyam is a very beautiful expression by Yamunacharya Swami, because Unnatam also means high, little bloated. But here Tanu Madhyam Unnatam here, it is the opposite of bloated waist. That is what we call pot belly. It's not a pot belly for Lord Krishna. Tanu Madhyam is a slender waist. Slender waist. Thin hip, you can say. Thin bosom. So Tanu Madhyam. Tanu means, generally Tanu means body. Full frame is called Tanu. Tanu is generally what you call slim figure is called Tanu. Of course, it is a young body, a growing body, whereas Shariram is a decaying body. Old people's body, of course, it's a decaying body, Shariram. Whereas Vapuhu and Tanuhu, there are two other words for body. The physical frame is Tanu, meaning increasing. That is from the young age up to the youthhood, say up to age 30. So we grow further. So Tanu, Madhyam is middle. The middle meaning the hip or the belly. So Unnatam is bent, low in fat. So it is not a fatty belly, it's It's a slender waist. Tanu Madhyam Unnatam. So again, Lord Sriman Narayana, who has slender waist? The word who must be added everywhere. Who is endowed with a depressed navel, slender waist, then high stature and shining, the Vishala Vakshasthala Shobhi Lakshana. Vishala, broad, last sentence, last but one word, broad chest. Vishala, Vakshaha, Sthala, Vakshas, then Sthala. Sthala denotes that it's a broad chest. Sthala is a big place. The Vishala Vakshasthala, Vaksha is chest. Vaksha is chest. The Vishala Vakshasthala is the big area of chest. So that is the natural beauty of the male frame. Then Vishala Vakshasthala, Shobhi is shining. Lakshanam is what we call the mark of beauty. Lakshanam is mark of beauty. But a high stature is Unnatam. I think we will take it as Unnatam can be taken. Madhyam is slender waist. Unnatam is high stature. That is what we call majestic personality. You can say tall. You would hear about Rama, and with as Ajanubhav, his hands extending up to the knee of his legs. Ajanubhav. Janu is knee. So we have different types of Lakshanam, Samudrika Lakshanam. Vishala Vakshasthala, Shobhi is shining. Lakshanam is the mark of beauty. Lakshanam also means definition. So all the marks of beauty fit in Lord Krishna. And we are talking about Krishna Avatar totally. Of course, Lord Sriman Narayana in any incarnation. But here is more important is the yellow dress. Virajamanojjala Pitavasasam. Mitatasi Suna Samamalachari. Nimagnanabhi Tanumadhyamunnatam. Vishala Vakshastana Shobhi. You can also take the word Unnatam to Vishala Vakshastana. The chest is high in state. So the sentence continues. But we will look at the Padavarai, Vyakyanam, Avatarika, Padavarai. Virajamana, Varna Cheptiyat. Lord is colorful. Therefore, he is called Ranganatha. Rang in Hindi, color. Ranganatha, therefore, Varna Cheptiyat. So, yellow color dress, rather grey color of the body. Flowers like white flowers, tulasi mala, what we call basil leaves in green color. So many jewels in different colors, and everything is shining, and therefore the whole divine figure is very colorful, attractive. So Virajamana Varna Chetkaya, Araha Irupadu. Ujjvala Prakashamanadam. And you have Ujjala Jwala. Jwala is a flame of a fire. Flame of the fire is called Jwala. So Ujjvala is shining, blazing and shining. Prakashamanadamana. Prakasham, white. So Vasasam, Tiruppi. We always add Shri to any, because the auspicious quality of the Lord is everywhere. The auspiciousness is everywhere. And therefore we say Tiruppitambarati Udayana. Andralanda, Andruman, Smita, Malanda. Smita is generally smiling, but here it is called blossom. Smita Malanda. Atasi Suna Sama. Kayambuvai Otta. I told you in Tamil it's called Kayambu. So Kayambuvai Otta. Atasi, Suna, Atasi, name of the flower, Suna flower, Sama equal. Otta. Amalachavim, Doshamatra Kantiye Udayavanahu. Already in English we saw pure splendor. Now this commentary says no defect is there in the brightness, in the beauty. Whereas if you have a comparison with moon, the moon has a black mark. The moon has a black mark. Because of craters physically, the moon has a black mark. Of course, the black mark is considered as a sign of beauty in moon. But for example, Rama, Lord Rama is called Ramachandra. Moon on earth, another moon on earth. There is only one moon. And therefore in Sanskrit, moon means one. Chandraha, if you say, it is number one. We have only one moon. But we have 12 suns, Dwadasha Aditya. Here, Doshamatra Kanti, Amala Chavi. Chavi is brightness, attractive beauty. And Nimagana Nabim, Arnda Uddiyai Udayavanahu. The navel is deep. Tanu Madhyam, Shiriya Edai Udayavanahu. The waist is slender. The hip is very slender. Unnatam, Ivehalale Melanavanahu. So with all this beauty in every limb of the divine figure, Lord is high in stature. So Unnatam. That's why and the commentary says, Ivatrale Melanavanahu. All the limbs add the beauty totally. Then Vishala Vakshasthala Shobhi Lakshana. Vishala Vakshasthala Ahanta Thirumarbil. The chest area is very broad. Vedanguhindra, he has commentator, namely Periva Chandale, adds one more. It is not given there, but he means that the word Lakshanam meaning the mark of beauty is more. The Shivatam is called Maru. Practically speaking, when you look at Ranganatha, you will have 5 blue gems on the chest. 5 blue. They are called Shivatam. 5 blue gems. 1 in the center, and around the 4 directions we have 4. That is dark blue gem is there. Dark blue. And that is to be considered as Shivatam. But Shivasam is what we call an identification mark on the chest of the Lord. And so we have, I think, in US, it is some other mark for your identity. I forgot the word. The abbreviation it is said. So Avatarika. So we are talking about the entire divine figure. This is what we understand, what we call enjoying the divine auspicious qualities of the Lord, and therefore we get attracted towards Him. We go near Him. Then we want to serve Him, and therefore we pray for liberation. So Avatarika, Virajaman. Now you find the what I said is given in Tamil. In the Shlokam Mudalaha, from this verse onwards, Bhavantam என்கிற ஸ்லோகத்தளவும். Bhavantam is the word which ends in the maybe in 37. We can find out later. So Bhavantam is you. Yamunacharya is talking to the Lord directly in what we call second person. So Bhavantam, you. என்கிற ஸ்லோகத்தளவும், up to that verse which has got the word Bhavantam, Parvakramatale meaning in the ascending order, regular ascending order. Kramam is order. Parva is the stages of the beauty from foot to head or head to foot. Generally we say now, because we have already worshipped with the feet. Charanambujadvayam. Tat Charanambujadvayam. So we are now going from the feet to the top, head. Then Avayava, Abarana, Ayudha, Mahishi, Parijana, Parichadangalottai, Chetyarahi Anubavit, Anubhava, Janita, Preeti Karitamana, Kaikariatale, Unne Uhapipadi Apo. Now, this is what we call, in addition to verse number 30, I mean, we saw the word Tat Charanam Bujadvayam. Tat Charanam Bujadvayam. So we are going, first enjoying the divine feet, and then we go from the divine feet to the head one by one. Now, how do we go? Avayava. Avayava means limb, L-I-M-B, limb. Then Abharana, the jewels. Ayudha, the weapon. Mahishi, Mahishi is the queen, namely Mahalakshmi. And Parijana is about Adishesha, Vishaksena, and Garuda. The Mahishi, sorry, Parijana. Parijana is servant. So Parijana refers to Nityasuris, three Nityasuris, namely Adishesha, Garuda, and Vishaksena. Then Parichadangalottai. Some more additions are there. Shetyarahi Anubhavit. Enjoying the total beauty, the entire beauty. So Anubhavit, experiencing the entire beauty. Anubhava Janita Preeti Karitamana Kainkaryatale. Because the devotee has been attracted towards the Lord, the experience makes him dearer to the Lord. Anubhava Janita Preeti Karitamana Kainkarya. We want to do service to the Lord because we have been enamored by the beauty of the Lord in all the limbs associated with these jewels or the weapons. The weapons are the jewels. Weapons also can be called the jewels. And along with the Mahalakshmi, goddess of wealth, then with the other Nityasuris, Parijana, and so on. So we enjoy all the paraphernalia of the Lord, and then we want to do service. So when I want to do service, when shall I do? So by doing service, I want to make the Lord happy. The devotee is asking, Yamunacharya Swami is asking, Periyavachan Pillai by his commentary is asking, Kada 31, verse number 31, Kada, when will I do that? Kada Tat Charanambujadvayam Madiyam Uddhanam Alankarishati. When will your divine lotus feet adorn my head? That when should be added here also. When will I have the enjoyment of the beauty of the divine figure along with what we call the just now we had in 30. We are going to see in the Vyakhyana how we can enjoy each limb of the Lord. Now Yamunacharya has been followed very strictly by Ramanujacharya in his Gadyam. He says all these words, especially that particular word, Anubhava Janita Preeti Karitamana Kainkaryatale. Periyavachan Pillai's words are similar to Ramanujacharya's words in the Gadyam. Because we enjoy the beauty of the Lord, we tend to do service to the Lord. We also would like to do service to the Lord. இத்தால் தம்முடைய பிராபியத்தை அருளி செய்கிறார். What is the principle behind enjoying the beauty? Meaning, Lord is the most deserving person to be approached, and he has to be reached. So, prapyate aruli. The Yamunacharya indicates that Lord Sriman Narayana is the reachable destination, fit to be approached. Then 249, Vaikunthe tu pare loke Shriya Sardam Jagatpatihi Aste Vishnuhu Achintyatma Bhaktaihi Bhagavate Saha Endire Vastu Irupadu. Now, how does he feel? How does Lord feel? Where does he reside? Where does he live? How does he enjoy his life? So, Pare Loke Vaikunthe, in the highest world called Vaikuntham, along with Mahalakshmi, Shriya Sardam, Sardam along with Shriya Mahalakshmi, the goddess of fortune, Jagatpatihi, the leader of the world, the master of the entire creation, Aste, remains, lives, Aste. Who is that Lord? Vishnu. So he is and he has no worry there. He is not worried. So you will find Paramapadanathan figure in any temple as in a sitting posture. He is not lying down like Ranganatha in Srirangam or Satyamurti in Tirumaya. He is not lying down. He has no worry. Achintyatma. Why does he not worry? Bhaktaihi Bhagavataihi Saha. Since devotees are there and slaves are there, that is, people belonging to him are there. He has got a lot of relatives, friends, all linked with him. Therefore, he is without worry. In Vaikuntha, he is peaceful in heart because he is associated with both Mahalakshmi and the other devotees. Mahalakshmi is also a devotee. Therefore, he is there with all the people. Without the devotees, he will not be happy. Without the slaves, the individual souls who have become Nityasuri, he will not be peaceful. So he will be happy only with them. And because all of them, all the individual souls have reached Vaikuntha and they remain there as Nityasuri, and therefore he is happy. He is not happy when he is alone. He is not happy when he is not with Mahalakshmi. That's the meaning of it. So he likes to have all around him. He wants his creation also to be along with him. Therefore, he likes the company of the devotee. Vyakhyana. Virajaman. Now, when Periyavachan Pillai gives the question, what does the devotee need? Does the devotee need only the divine feet to be adorning his head? Or is it possible that the divine feet can be placed on the devotee's head? Rather, whether the divine feet can become an ornament to the head of the devotee? So this is the question. So, Tiruvadigalai Talaile Vaikam Amayumo. Is it possible that the divine feet can be placed just like in Vamana Avatara, the incarnation as a dwarf, Lord Shivan Narayana put his foot on the head of Mahabali Chakravarti? Is it possible in our case also? It is not enough, it is not sufficient that Lord Shivan Narayana puts his divine feet on my head, namely Madhya Murdhanam. It is not enough. And what more do you want? The question is asked by the Almighty. So, Samanya Shobhaya Anubhavikara. Now, we are only going through an ordinary beauty of the Lord. Samanya Shobha. Shobha is beauty. Samanya Shobha is general, ordinary, common beauty. Samanya Shobhaya Anubhavikara. Later on, you will find that the more divine beauty is there. Comparatively, it's a better beauty in the future work. So, விராஜமான திருநிறத்துக்கு பரபாகமான அழகு. Now, if we all get together and decide, or individually we decide that the particular color is the best color, then we say Lord is more beautiful than the color that we choose. That means beyond our imagination, beyond our capacity of thought, Lord is more beautiful. Lord is more handsome. Parabhagamana azhagu. Whatever color that you think that it is beautiful, he is beyond that. Then Ujjvala. Maharajanam Vasaha. என்கிற ஸ்வரூபத்தாலே வந்த ஔஜ்வல்யம். His brightness, his effulgence, his beauty is by his own form. What happens is there is no dust in the dress. What we call spick and span. The dress is spick and span. Completely pure. Not a single defect is there. What we call a dirty mark is not there in the dress. Especially what we call the yellow raiment, yellow dress. It is Maharajanam is no dust. Rajana, Raja is Rajas as we understand. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Arajanam, no dust. So Maharajanam is greatly pure, highly pure. இதே உடையார்ந்த ஆடை என்று திருவரை பூத்தா போல இருக்கிற அழகு. By the yellow dress in the hip of the Lord Sriman Narayana would make us see that the hip of the Lord, looking like a flower, has blossom. Any blossomed flower is a beauty. We enjoy the beauty of a flower when it is open, when it has opened its petals. And here, the hip, the waist of the Lord looks like a blossomed flower. And that is the beauty enhanced by the dress, namely in the color of yellow. The next page starts with Pita Vasasam. Now, sorry, I said 37. இந்த ஸ்லோகம் முதல் 46வது ஸ்லோகம் வரை ஒரே வாக்கியமாக இருக்கு. There's only a single sentence from 32 up to 46. I think I didn't identify him. So 30, not 37, 46. I told you the name Kulakam. Kulakam is 5 and 5 plus. Here it's almost 15 verses are there. 15 verses. 46 minus 32. So you have Thiruvaimozhi 374 we will see for the quotation called Udayarnda Adai. Now the simple meaning of the word Udayarnda Adai is there are people wear a lot of dresses and the dress would fit it. It should be matching to the beauty of the physical frame. Udayarnda Adai. For anything that we must have proper dress. The proper dress, if again there is a point, a tailor fits, correctly stitches the correct size of the dress. And that is and sometimes we buy ready-made A ready-made dress will not be very fitting, very much fitting. But when you have measurement done, and then dress is made, stitched by the tailor, then you can have of the dress fitting. So we will take up Thiruvaimozhi 3:7. உடையார்ந்த வாடையன் கண்டிகையன் உடை நாளினன் உடையார் பொன்னூலினன் பொன்முடியன் மற்றும் பல்கலன் நடையா உடை திரு நாரணன் தொண்டர் கண்டீர் இடையார் பிறப்பிடைத்தோர் எமக்கெம்பெருமக்கள். உடையார்ந்த ஆடையம். I told you, a fitting dress. திருவரைக்கு தகுதியான திருப்பரிவட்டத்தை உடையவன். Generally, we wear a dhoti, what we call veshti, and then above the veshti, in the hip, we have what we call angavastram, an upper garment which is to be wound round the hip. That is called Tiruparivattam. But generally, Tiruparivattam is one on the head. So here it is Thiruvarakki Tagudiyana Tiruparivattam, in the sense there is a dhoti, there is a veshti in yellow color, and you have the same yellow matching color of the angavastra, upper garment, wound round. That is called Udayarnda Adaya. His physical frame corresponds to the size, exact size of the dress, and that is the quotation given here. And we can of course see the other beauties also. Kandigayan. Can you show me the blue? Oh, yeah. It's better that we have see the blue. Yes, sir. So Kandigayan is, his necklace is in the right place with the right shape, form, beauty, and so on. Kantabhushanam. Kantabhushanam is necklace. Generally, pearl necklace is important for the Lord. சாத்தின திருவரை நாணே உடையம். You would have seen a belt over the vesti, dhoti, and that is called udai nanina. Nan is a rope-like belt over the dhoti, over the yellow dress. Then pudayar sannivesham amainda ponnoolinam. They got a yajnopavitam, a sacred thread across the shoulder. It is made up of gold. பொற்பூணூலை உடையவனம். பொன்முடியன், he has got shining locks of hair. It is given as gold locks of hair. I think it can be misunderstood. So it's a good black locks of hair. And then meaning best, பொன்முடியில், the best locks of hair. Then மற்றும் பல்கலன், he has got a lot of ornaments. Then நடயா உடை, இயற்கையாக உடையவனுமான. His gait is also good. Then திருநாரணன், ஸ்ரீமன் நாராயணனுக்கு தொண்டர் அடியானார்க்கும் அடியரானவர். அடியரானார்க்கும் அடியரானவர். The Lord is also obedient to the devotees. He is also slave to the slaves. இடையார், so நிரந்தரமான, without any gap, பிறப்பிடைதோறும், every time he is incarnating, எமக்கு எங்களுக்கு எவ்வளவோ சிறந்தவர்களாக. The devotees are attracted towards the Lord in all incarnations. All the devotees fall a prey to the beauty of the Lord in every incarnation. And that is the. Of course, you have to go through the Tamil commentary of Prativati Bhayangara Mannan, so that it will be very elaborate. So my Lord wears a necklace, waist belt, yellow robe, splendid golden thread, a golden crown, and many ornaments. Those who serve the servants of the devotees are my masters to every life. So this is the highest policy of Shatrughna in Ramayana, namely serve the servants of the Lord. Serve the servants and servants of the Lord. Svabhritya Bhritya Paricharaka Bhritya Bhritya Bhrityasya Bhritya Itimam Smara Lokanatha. Kulashekara said it 7 times. So I am the servant of servants. 7 times. So I am only in the 8th generation where I want to serve only the devotees of the Lord. That is the highest path. That is the highest status of humility. Vinaya. That is more. And that is the essence of enjoying the Lord in the entire figure from foot to the head, from divine foot to the divine head, and so on. Everything is good in every dress, every ornament, every weapon, every servant there, Nityasuri. All of them are obedient to the Lord. They always carry out the orders of the Lord. And the Lord also is very happy if these servants and devotees are always with him.
My first question is that you mentioned about the 5 gems, the gems on the chest of the Lord, the sapphires in the diamond shape. But normally we consider this to be the Kaustuba, not Trivatsa, no?
Kaustuba, Kaustuba, but we have to identify the Sivatsa also. But how do you identify Sivatsa if these are all Kaustuba? It is both Kaustuba and Sivatsa. Your question is right because you have been practically enjoying the beauty of Sri Ranganatha, number one. Happy that you reminded me. The 5 gems, what we call the black blue gems, are equivalent to Kaustubha and Shiva. Because in the small figure of the Lord, there is no place separately for Shiva. And we also say Shivatsa is identification mark for the Lord by the presence of Mahalakshmi. And generally a mole avoids evil eye on the Lord. That is the purpose of the mole. And mole which removes the evil eye. And that is why we have Karpura Harati. Karpura Harati is meant for avoiding the evil eye or retaliating on the evil eye or making what we call remedial action for the evil eye. And therefore, Sri Vaishnava will not receive the flame of the lamp in their palm. We never touch them. We salute them, but we don't touch and keep our palms on our eyes. But all others do it. Only Sri Vaishnava will not do that. And that is because Karpura Harati, the camphor lighting, is meant for removing the evil eye on the Lord. Now, why should we worry about the evil eye on the Lord? That is because of Periyalvar or what you call Vishnu, who has been taking care of the Lord as a child. And therefore, we also must care that nothing should happen to him. And in spite of it, now is there, for the past few months, the lockdown is there, the temple has been closed, there was no festival.
So you say that the Karpura Arti.
Karpura Arti.
The Karpura Arti takes
Nirajanam. We call it Nirajan. Yes.
Right. So, but are you saying that we only don't touch the Kapura arti or harati, or what about the other arti without Kapuram?
They don't. The priest doesn't bring it to you. The practice of other temple priests will bring the Karpura or the camphor light near you. Whereas the other one, say, Alankara lamp, the beautiful lamp like lighting many in a row. It looks like a gallery of light. And then the single one with a pot called Kumbha Velakku. And you have different types of. So they are not brought to the devotee. Generally, they are not brought. They are for Sodashokata, for the 16 types of what we call worshipping.
Right. But when we go to Parimal Sannidhi in Sri Rangam, then they have an oil lamp which they show the different parts of the body of the Lord.
Right.
So this is not it's not considered a harati. This is just showing the different places.
They show the divine feet. They show the Adishesha. They show the face, the divine face. The Lord Brahma on the navel, Mahalakshmi on the chest, everywhere.
So that lamp is not for the evil eye. That lamp is not for the evil eye.
Right. They have today. Some years ago, all temples switched over to a wick lamp instead of the camphor light, because the camphor was contaminated, highly contaminated, and a pure camphor will not do any harm, whereas contaminated camphor will have the fume of chemicals, and therefore they avoided. There was a rule in the government that they should be avoided.
So just getting back to the Srivatsa, in iconography on the right side of Vishnu deity's chest, they usually put a inverted triangle shape representing Mahalakshmi, or they put also a figure of Mahalakshmi sitting. And this is there on Peri-Parimal. I'm assuming also it's also there on Nam-Parimal, on the Utsava Murti.
Right.
But you can't see it because of the oil on Peri-Parimal, on Ranganatha, and on Nam-Parimal you can't see it because he's wearing clothes. He's wearing a lankaram.
Right. So many jewels are on him.
Yeah, but normally the Srivatsa is on the right side of the chest. The Kaustuba is hanging in the middle of the Lord's chest.
Right.
So my other question is about there's a sloka which is there's a verse which is very, very common in South India, Shuklam Baradaram Vishnum. But here we have Pitambaram Vishnum.
Okay.
So we're talking. so the smarters, they say that this verse Shuklam Baradaram Vishnum is for Pilya, for Vinayaka, for Ganapati, right. Ganesh. But the Vaishnavas say no, it must be for Sriman Narayana because the word Vishnum is there. But so sometimes, is it possible that Vishnu also wears Shuklam Baradam, white cloth? Is it possible? Or does Shukla mean simply shining? Does it also mean yellow?
Not as
white. Yeah.
And Shukla means bright. Shukla Paksha is bright fortnight.
Right. So it could be also Pitambara, Shukla Pitambara.
Right. White, bright yellow. And again, in order to support Vinayaka's name there, because he says Sarva Vighnopashantaye, The word Vigna is there. Difficulty has been nullified. That is the argument. One more argument is there. Prasanna Vadanam. Prasanna meaning elephant. Vadanam is face. The elephant faced Lord. Varanasyam we call him Varanasya. Elephant, Prasanna Vadanam. They argue that way. But we are talking about this Vishwaksena. Shuklam Vardharam Vishnum, Sajivarnam Chaturbhujam, Prasanna Vadanam Jaye, Sarva Vignopashantaye. We are talking of more of Vishwaksena than the very Lord. Of course, Vishnu is there, all pervading.
So, but the Sri Vaishnavas are chanting Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum, but then they are also chanting Yasya Dviradavaktaradyaha Parisadya Parasaram Vignam Niganti Saratam Vishvaksenam Tamashray. So in that second verse, the word Vignam is also given.
Yeah.
So you're saying the first verse has to do with Vishvaksena, according to Sri Vaishnavas.
Both Vishnu and Vishvaksena. The second one, Yasya Dviradavaktaradyaha, they say elephant face. Dvirada, Rada means tusk. Dvirada is two tusks. Dvirada is elephant.
Yeah, but Ganapati only has one tusk, no?
No, the face is elephant face. It's not a question of two tusks there present. But Dvirada Vaktram is face of the elephant. It looks like the face of the elephant, not with two tusks.
But Prasanna Vadanam means pleasing also.
Yeah,
it can mean
is happy face. We mean as only happy. We don't mean it as elephant. And so Vignam is there.
So everybody is chanting this prayer, but people have a different opinion about who it is addressing. But how come if we say that it means Vishvaksena, then also Vishnum comes there? Does it mean that Vishvaksena is also everywhere where the Lord is? Here we see
Vishvaksena, then also there. The word Vishvak. Vishvak is also meaning all pervading. Wherever the Lord is there, the chief of staff, army staff is on there.
So then we have come to understand that Sri Devi is everywhere. Sri Devi is also everywhere where Sriman Narayana is, where Lord Narayana is. Does it mean also Lord Narayana, when he's everywhere, he's accompanied by Sri Devi, and he's also accompanied by Vishvaksena, Adishesha, and Garuda, everywhere, in all places. So they're also
in some form or other.
Right, as
either as an umbrella or as a paduka, as a divine sandal, as a seat, as a throne. Chandral Kudayam, Irundal Chingapuramam, Nindral Maravadiyam, or as a bed, Pumbatkam. Anayam, as a what you call dindu, we say, a cushion on both sides.
Yeah, the pillow, the bolster pillow, that round pillow. Yes. So, Govindacharya is just saying that that we've heard people say also that the Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum is a prayer to Lord Hayagriva. Some people say
that I have not seen. Sampradayam followed Deshika, that Lord Hayagriva. No, generally we have not heard that connection.
Okay, so continuing on, we're talking about placing the Lord's feet on our head, and when we go to the temple, they touch the ceteri to the head of the they touch the ceteri to the deity, and then the ceteri to the head of the devotees, and the ceteri of Sriman Narayana is considered to be Sadakopan. that Namalwar.
Namalwar.
So that means that Setari is also Vishwaksena. Excuse me. Vishwaksena. Namalwar is the avatar of Vishwaksena.
Right.
So does it mean that is the Setari Adishesha or is the Setari Vishwaksena?
Satari is Vishwaksena. Satari is Vishwaksena.
So, but the Setari is the sandals.
But why is
the Setari is the Lord's sandals.
Satari is the last.
But how can we say that Adishesha is the Lord's sandals, but also Vishwaksena is the Lord's sandals?
Now, Adishesha is the sandal according to Alvar. Nindral Maravadiyam, Tamil Prabandham of Nammalvar. Nindral Maravadiyam. So he is the sandal. Adishesha, there is no doubt Adishesha is serves as a sandal. And Vishwaksena incarnated as Nammalvar. Nammalvar's moksham you have heard, no? Nammalvar moksham. So he is bowing at the Lord's divine feet at the end of the Vaikuntha Ekadasi festival. So naturally, Nammalvar has become the divine sandals of the the particular Prabandham in Tamil, Un Adikil Amarndu Pugundeni, Nammalvar said, Un Adikil Amarndu Pugundeni. So I enter into the bottom of your divine feet. And that means bottom of the divine feet is the sandal. Your question is very much.
So also it reminds me of the Bhuta Shuddhi done in Tiruvaradhanam. In the Bhuta Shuddhi, we meditate that our Atman enters into the foot of Sriman Narayana and comes out again purified.
Right.
So another question that I have is that not all Setaris if we go to different temples, the Setari is considered to be a different personality. So, for instance, if we go to Periyanambi Tirumalage, in Periyanambi Tirumalage, there is a Murti of Periyanambi. At the feet of the Murti of Periyanambi is Ramanuja. On the Murti, at his feet is Ramanuja. So the Setari of Periyanambi, of the Periyanambi deity, is considered to be Ramanuja. The Setari of Ramanuja is considered to be one of his disciples. I think Mudliyandan or Kurudalwan, maybe Mudliyandan. Can I ask? So it's a common understanding that for these other deities, their Setari is one of their shishas, their prime shisha, representing their shisha. So can I ask, when we go to Pirati, when we go to Ranganayaki Sannidhi, when Mahalakshmi, there is a Setari there. What is there a personality of the Setari of Mahalakshmi? And also for Sudarshana, what is the Setari of Sudarshana? Who is the Setari? Who is the person representing the Setari of Sudarshana and Ranganayaki?
In the Sanctum Sanctor of the goddess, again Nammalvar, because Nammalvar is what we call Naika Bhava, by Naika Bhava, Parankusha Naika. So the Satari of Mahalakshmi, Ranganayika also is Nammalvar.
So you're saying that Nammalvar sometimes in his pasurams, he in his prabandhams, he is acting like like a lady. He's taking on the heroine heroine relationship with the Lord.
The spouse of the Lord. And in case of Sudarshana, Sudarshana is the representative of Narasimha avatar. You go behind the Sudarshana chakra, you find the Narasimha avatar. And by that, again, of course, it denotes only the Acharya Parampara, the clan of the preceptor. Sudarshana is one of the devotees of the Lord. And therefore, we are talking of the devotees also, only devotees. Ramayana is a devotee, Sudarshana is a devotee. And of course, we don't distinguish between the Shatari of Sudarshana and Shatari of Ranganayika and Shatari of Nanperumal. Wherever it is Nammalva. Whereas, because there was one Sudarshana Suri also.
Author of Shruta Prakashika commentary.
Right. And there is no differentiation between the preceptors. So one is higher, one is lower, one is more deeper devotee, and we don't have distinction between preceptors.
So we can consider the preceptor, our preceptor, to be like the Setari of the Lord.
Yeah, that's right.
So is there a difference when we take tirtha, charanamrita? There is a charanamrita, there is a tirtha of the Lord, and then there is also a tirtha of the Acharya, which is called Sripada Tirtha.
Right.
So the water that washes the Setari, is it charanamrita from the Lord, or is it Sripada Tirtha?
It's called the Sripada Tirtha. Again, the word Sripada you can understand as Ranganayika. So Ranganayika's Pada Tirtha, and again, as we say, so the answer is here in Stotraratnam. Shriya Srihi Kaha. So she is the Lord. She is the Lord.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand exactly, because in the Tiravaradhanam, we wash the figure of the Lord. We do Tiramanjanam, and we also do Tiramanjanam to the Setari.
Yeah.
So if the Setari is not the Lord, the Setari represents Vishwaksena or Namalwar or the Acharya, then that tirtha also gets mixed with the tirtha of the Lord.
Right.
Then why do we make a separate tirtha for Acharya Paduka Tirtha or Sripada Tirtha?
Only physically, when we see our Acharya alive, and we the very Acharya is our Bhagavan. That's all. That is the equated. There is no less status, lower status to a person who is living here. So we said it earlier. The ordinary human being, mortal body of our Acharya is to be considered as Divya Mangala Vigraha of the Lord. Though he is seen in flesh and blood physically by us with our naked eyes, he is equivalent to the divine figure of the Lord, divine auspicious figure of the Lord. That is how we must respect him.
So I've seen when there's a ghosty in a Tirumalige. If I go to Lakshmi Narasimha, Parasara Lakshmi Narasimha Bhatta's Tirumalige, or if I go to Perinambi's Tirumalige, or if I go to some other Tirumalige, they will do a Radaram, they'll do Tiruvaradaram, and they'll give out Tirtha. After giving Tirtha, they'll give separately Sripada Tirtha, but only to the Shishas of that Tirumalige.
Right. That's right. And what you call, you have to maintain our own parampara of the guru. That is the purpose for which, even if we want to receive, I think they don't deny you the Sripada. If at all they deny, that is because of our human thought.
Yeah, normally they won't deny you the Sripada Tirtha if you have Samashrinam. If you don't have Samashrinam, they won't allow you. They won't give you. But so my other question is, you were mentioning about going to see Sudarshana, Lord Sudarshana, and it is just like a Guru Parampara. So are you saying that because you are a follower of a Hobalam Matam, that Lord Narasimha comes in the beginning of your Parampara? And or are you saying that for everybody that it is a representation where Narasimha and Sudarshana are there of Parampara?
Yeah, not because I belong to Ahoblam, but because it is general observation that Sudarshana is another representation of Lord Lakshmi Narasimha. Lakshmi Narasimha happens to be the titular deity of the Ahoblam, but for example, what you wanted me to say is Venugopala Krishnan is the titular deity for Srirangam Srimad Vandavana. Hayagriva is the titular deity of Parakalam at Mysore. So we don't differentiate between any type of Venugopala Krishnan is not different from Hayagriva. Hayagriva is not different from Lakshmi Narasimha. These are all incarnations.
So can you, but one thing we've noticed is that in the deities of Sudarshana, in Sri Rangam they have also on the side Sudarshana's consort Vijayavali, and then in the backside we have Narasimha, Yoga Narasimha, specifically Yoga Narasimha. Is there a difference between the different forms of Narasimha? Like this Yoga Narasimha has got 4 chakras. He's got 4 chakras. So is it a special form, sitting in yoga position with 4 chakras?
Yeah, that's a special form. It is called Hatha Yoga form. Yoga Shastra.
See, the only other time I've heard about Vishnu having 4 chakras with 4 hands is there's a there's a Keshava. The Keshava, the mantra that is chanted for Urdhva Pundram mentions that Keshava has got 4 chakras.
Right.
But we don't find any deities that I've never seen in any temple. I've never seen a deity of Vishnu with 4 chakras. Only Narasimha with 4 chakras.
We don't have temples for Vyuha. Neither we have temples for other weapons like Panchajanyam, Gada, then Sarga, the bow, and the sword, Sandaka. We don't have temples for because Sudarshana is considered the head of the weapons, leader of the arms. We don't have any temple separately for it.
But only when we come into Sri Rangam, when we walk into the temple, if we turn to the east, if we turn right as we walk in past the big Dwajastamba, we see Ramanuja's samadhi, his sanidhi, Emberamanna sanidhi, and there's a big Panchajanya on the outside of that. Whereas we look the other side, we see Sudarshana. So which would be in the right places. If the Lord were facing us, in his right hand would be the Sudarshana, in his left hand would be the Panchajanya. So is there any relationship between Panchajanya and this Emberamanna Ramanuja Sannidhi? Or is it just a decoration there to be?
Maybe the decoration, but the principle behind it may be Panchajanyam is white, and that white color represents jnana, knowledge, and Ramanujacharya is a jnana. That is how we can connect. My explanation may be a crude one, based on your arguments.
No, it sounds very nice to me. I'm always looking for some inner meaning to these things. So I'm sure that just like when we enter into the southern gate of Sri Rangam, and we see the mandapa there, on the mandapa are representations of the different mantras, the Tira mantra, the Dwaya mantra, and the Charama sloka. We in carvings of Narayan Rishis and Lord Krishna and Lakshmi, Vaikunthanatha in the middle. So all these things are depicted. If somebody knows the meaning behind them, it is not just it's just not just an architecture, but there's actually a meaning behind it.
Right. That's also there. We must discover the meaning if we can.
So, but it doesn't mean just because we see Lord Yoga Narasimha with 4 chakras, it doesn't mean we are associating it with Keshava, because we when we put Udva Pundra, we think of Keshava with 4 chakras. It's a separate idea.
Yeah, but and all names denote only one.
So, as you said, normally we see temples. We don't see temples of vyuhas, upavyuhas. Actually, this Keshava Narayana, these are upavyuhas. So we only see temples which represent para forms, like Srinivasa. Vaikunthanatha or Srinivasa Perumal also looks like Vaikunthanatha, and then we see Vibhava. We see the avatars, like like the Das Avatar Sannidhi, or like Venugopala Swami, or Rama.
We don't have many Dashavatara Sannidhis. We have only a few.
Right, there's one at Tiruvellarai, and then there's one there in Sri Rangam, outside the main temple, of course. But in Tiruvellarai, that's the Das Avatar Sannidhi is inside the temple. Maybe some other places also. With Das Avatar, sometimes they depict Matsya and Kurma as a standing figure, half fish, half tortoise, and half man. Whereas other times they look like a full fish and a full tortoise. Is there a reason for that?
No, in order to understand procedure to install the figures like that, they must have some.
So we have to look in Shilpa Shastra and Pancharatra for the descriptions. Also, this Kalki avatar, sometimes we see Kalki, like in Das Avatar Sannidhi, he's a man on a horse.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes we see he is a man with a horse face, like Lord Hayagriva. He looks almost like Lord Hayagriva sometimes.
Yeah. Because they mistake it, the word Haya, because horse with Kalki. And Hayagriva, for information, he was also a name of a demon.
The demon that was taking away. What was that? That demon was also taking away the Vedas, or that was Madhu and Kaitaba?
the scriptures. He also, like Hiranyaksha, he was also like Madhukanta.
So I think I took you on a big digression here. We talked about a lot of things. So thank you for bearing with my questions. All of this because of the mention of Pitambara, and we came to that extent.
Shukla is the Shuklambaradhanam. The Shukla refers to Amalachavi here in the Stotraratnam.
Shukla here means pure. Yeah, pure. Okay. So Govindacharya is just saying also, is there any significance to the horse figure and knowledge? Is there any?
Right. Horse power with HP. Horse power is called Ashwathama. Ashwathama is the name of the son of Dronacharya. Dronacharya is a preceptor of knowledge, and his son also should be considered as the, we say in the Shastra, Acharya Putra is also should be respected as an Acharya. And Ashwathama, the word Ashwathama is what we say in scientific terms, horsepower. Horsepower of a motor, generator will have a horsepower. The word horsepower, the horse represents the word horse. The very neighing of the horse is considered knowledge. In Hayagriva Stotram of the Vedanta Deshika, we understand the very sound of the horse neighing is a representation of the wisdom, the divine wisdom. And therefore, that's why we say, Jnananandamayam Devam Hayagrivam Upasmati. Your question is also right, and I also have what you call enlightenment through your thoughts.
So different forms of the Lord, like if Hayagriva is an avatar which has to do with knowledge, Narasimha is an avatar which has to do with fearlessness, and Lord Krishna is associated with love, Kama Deva, and Rama has got each of these avatars are exhibiting some different wonderful quality, because they have he has Ananta Kalyana Gunas. So each one of them each avatar is showing one of these, or more than one, but specifically one. We remember each one of them for that. We remember Rama for being very dharmic, very, very righteous. And we remember Krishna for being very lovable. And we remember Narasimha for being, very protective of Prahlad, and Hayagriva for giving knowledge. And Vedanta Deshika got this Hayagriva mantra also, right?
Right.
What is the story about that? From Garuda. Garuda gave him. So that is also that mantra is also passed down by the Deshika Sampradaya.
Yeah.
Is given mantra upadesha to people.
Yeah, I agree with Shiropanishad is there.
So that is also a parampara.
Yeah.
There are many paramparas. So there's a parampara for that. But we don't know the story of Garuda, how Garuda gets this mantra, but Garuda came and gave the mantra to Vedanta Deshika.
Garuda is called Vedatma. According to Chatushloki of Yamunacharya, you find that Vedatma Vihageshwara. He is also a representative of the wisdom incarnate.
Right. They say the flapping of the wings of Garuda are the prayers of the Vedas, the Shruti.
And those two wings are called Jnanam and Anushthana. Swami Sheshadri, how was your experience in the worship when you had a darshan? No?
Yes, of Sanjay Ranganatha. Yes, yes, yes. It was Unjal Seva. It was very nice. Throughout the night, they keep the mandap open for the devotees. And up to 4 o'clock in the morning, they keep it open. So anytime we can go in the night and have darshan. For these 3 days, Pondicherry will have a festive look due to visit of Sanjay Ranganatha.
If you have some photos, 1 or 2, you may send it to them.
I have taken the Unjal photograph that I will send you personally. And our friends and relatives get associated with that process of bringing the Ranganatha to Pondicherry for Tirthavari. We go and request the HRNC department to give a letter and take responsibility. So we bring I think for more than 80 years, Sanjay Ranganatha is visiting Pondicherry beach for Tirthavari. Likewise, for Thirukannapuram, Sauriraja Perumal visits T.R. Patnam in Karaikal for Tirthavari.
Right.
And during the Tirthavari period, that fisherman community takes care of Perumal. They call Perumal as Mopillai Swami.
In the same way, Srimushnam Bovaraha Perumal visits Porto Novo, Parangipete, where there is Muslim area.
Yes,
and they offer a lot of devotion to Srimushnam Bovaraha.
Yes. In between Porto Novo is there. And these fishermen, they don't go for fishing for almost a month. And after the return of Perumal only, they go to sea for fishing. They used to tell that this 1 month that Vratam they call, it will be compromised, not only compromised, the booty they will get after they visit sea. After Masimaham.
They want to have a gestation period.
Gestation period they require, and they also don't take fish during that period.
They have a sabbatical leave for 1 month.
Yes. Yes.
So what about the Muslims? Do they leave some things before worship of the Lord?
Yeah, they offer many things for puja as puja material to the Lord. And they feel they are honored by the visit of the Lord.
So of course the Lord has his Muslim consort Bibi Nachia also.
Yeah.
So everybody has a chance to be part of the entourage of the Lord.
God is impartial. Ashrita Pakshapati. Ashrita Pakshapati.
This is why they say that Lord Nam Perumal wears this checkered cloth. He wears a lungi, a Muslim lungi, when he takes bath in the Tirumamani Mandapam, 1,000-pillared mandap. And also I think they say they're offering chapati also to him, which is considered to be Muslim food, North Indian food.
The milk and the chapati.
Yeah, roti.
Right. Of course, milk is common to everybody, but chapati is not common in South India.
Right. No, what we say in Tamil is in Hindi common is roti, as he said. The word roti it shows the North Indian style. whether it is pulka or chapati.
Right. Roti is a common word for all these different types of breads made from wheat.
Wheat products.
Wheat products, right. Right. But we see there's in the Arjuna Mandapa, in the back of the Arjuna Mandapa in Sri Rangam, there's a shrine to Bibi Nachir.
Right. That is where the ladies on the family way are supposed to be given the prasad of roti and milk.
In the house, or in that place.
In the temple, yeah.
If the ladies in the family way go to that place and they're given prasad there, special prasad.
That should have been the practice. I think they have given up.
Oh, so Bibi Nachir is something like a patron goddess of pregnant ladies?
Right.
I see.
Just like you have heard about the Parvati temple called Tirukkarhavu. Amama. Tirukkarhavu.
I don't know about that.
Mullai is Shiva temple. Mullai Vananadar.
He called Garbha Rakshambika.
Garbha Rakshambika. Swami Nambaramal on his way back to Srirangam stayed in this Singavaram temple.
Oh.
Before this, Madurai Sultans were thrown out by Kambanna. For a time being, from en route from Tirupati to Srirangam, Nambaramal stayed with this Ranganatha of Chenji for some period.
Oh.
That temple is in hill.
All right.
Pond is also there.
Chenji district is also full of hills. Full there. Hills.
Yes. From Chenji, 3 kilometers away. This is Singavaram. Actually, Singavaram.
Right, Simavaram. Chola Simavaram.
Nice. No, sir. Chola Simavaram is near Kajipuram district. This is Singavaram. Singavaram, yes. That is near Mukudal. Mukudal is also there. Mukudal is where for Tondeman, Ranganatha came and he left Venkateswara came and he left his conch and chakra there. Original chakra and conch is there only. That Mukudal temple is. It's under ASA control.
स्वादयन्निह सर्वेषाम् त्रय्यन्तार्थम् सुदुर्ग्रहम् स्तोत्रयामास योगीन्द्रः तम् वन्दे यामुनाह्वयम् नमो नमो यामुनाय नमो नमः नमो नमो यामुनाय नमो नमः यत्पदाम्भोरुहध्यान विध्वस्ताशेषकल्मषः वस्तुतामुपयातोऽहम् यामुनेयम् नमामि तम्
श्रीमत्कृष्ण समात्वाय नमो यामुनसूनवे यत्कटाक्ष एकलक्ष्याणाम् सुलभः श्रीधरः सदा नमः यामुन पाद अब्ज रेणुभिः पावित आत्मने विदित अखिल वेद्याय गुरवे विदित आत्मने
कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः।